Like he said, I only had so much time to put this together, so I hope it's okay. First, I'd like to say thank you for having me. I'm incredibly honored to be here to speak with you on such an important day. As you can tell, we do share something that's very close. This is someone that's very close to me. He's gone through very, very much with me, especially being overseas and losing friends. At the age of 18, I signed papers to enlist into the Army. When in the Army, I was assigned to the 3rd Infantry Division. I served those 2 tours in Operation Iraqi Freedom and completed about 5 years of service. 5 is a funny number because 4 years is what we're supposed to serve, and both me and my brother here got stop loss to extend and go over to Iraq one more time. The Army has changed my life in several amazing ways. Today, I would like to share one of them with you. When I was young, Memorial Day meant only a couple of things to me. One, it meant that school was getting out. Every year, our last week was this week. And that, to me, as a kid, was amazing. My days are done, I get to relax. The second, it meant that when I was done with school on that Friday, my folks were waiting and we were going on a 3-day camping trip. Another fun event. The point that I'm getting to is that too many of us have never lost anyone or have never served in the military. Memorial Day was just a fun event or the start of summer. Now that I have served and lost some close people, the meaning of Memorial Day has completely changed for me. The meaning of Memorial Day to me now is a day of remembrance and a day of mourning. At Fort Stewart, the Army post that I served at, there's this place called Warriors Walk. Everybody couldn't miss it. It was put right next to the golf course, I think on purpose, so people had to see it. Warriors Walk was constructed for a memorial of fallen soldiers of the 3rd Infantry Division. There's concrete walkways. Down these concrete walkways, there is a ton of trees planted. Every one of these trees symbolizes a soldier that 3rd ID has lost. In these trees are signs. Those signs have the names of the brave soldiers that have lost their lives. There are 3 of those trees that stick out to me most. Those trees belong to Specialist Dustin Yancey, Sergeant Mason Lewis, and Captain James Gervitz. These 3 men paid the ultimate sacrifice by helping others out in Operation Iraqi Freedom. These 3 are the main 3 that I think of on a daily basis, but I definitely keep them close and dear to me today. When I think about these brave men, I think of the great times that we had with these men and the things that they did for us. All 3 were part of a team called Top Flight. You'll hear me talk about Top Flight because I take pride in Top Flight. Top Flight was a mission control. We ran missions in convoys. With people knowing what convoys are, we ran very dangerous missions down IED roads that would make us get blown up every other day. We also performed PSD teams, that's a personal security detachment. We ran high-ranking people of our battalion around so they could go to their meetings. When we needed to get the job done, Top Flight was who you called so you could get the job done. They spent most of their time on these IED roads, and this is what made us close. We all get into an environment where you don't know if you're going to get hit the next day or the next. So you all just act like you're going to go on throughout your day, and everybody acts like it's okay, and we form a good brotherhood and sisterhood. You get to know each other real well. You know each other a little bit more than I think our own loved ones know us. In fact, I knew Specialist Yancey to be a very nice guy. A lot of people didn't know that he was the tech guy of our bunch. He was the gunner of our crew, too. He stood on top of the Humvee, he gunned our gun, and he was one of the best gunners I've ever had. But if you had a problem with your computer, you're right, you could take it right to him, and he was going to fix it, and then he was almost going to make you feel like you did something wrong. If you were down, he showed you magic. The one thing that Jason remembers of him is that he showed him this magic trick, and he can't ever figure it out. He would do those every day just to keep himself happy. The other thing is that he played the guitar better than anybody else I ever known. I tried to play the guitar, I fumbled my hands, I don't know how to play, and he picks it up with ease and plays the most beautiful songs you can hear. Dustin, a lot of people didn't know when he was in the 3rd ID, only a few select of us came from Iowa. Dustin was one of those. He was born and raised in Cedar Rapids. He moved out to South Carolina not too long after that, and he joined his family because his family is a military family. The one good thing that I love about Dustin is the fact that he loves Hawkeye football, just like all of us. And the Iowa State, I'm sure. The one thing that I did not know about him until recently is that he had a blog that he would write in very often. I found this blog, and I would like to share the last blog that he ever wrote. In this blog, Specialist Dustin Yancey wrote, "We have driven hundreds of thousands of miles. We have been blown up and shot at hundreds of times. We've made many detours discovering new routes along the way in and around Baghdad. What we do here is for the safety of America, the freedom of Iraq, and ourselves. I do my job for everyone and no one because I take pride in what I do, and it does not matter who it is helping as long as it helps, if only a little. I am proud to be part of a more than 33-soldier group that may not seem like it, but they are all elite people, fathers, mothers, sons, daughters, wives, husbands, brothers, and sisters. We are the backbone of our battalion. We are top-flight security, and we secure the world." That was one of our little sayings. We always thought we were an elite group. We were no close and no match to Special Forces, I'm sure, but we sure felt like it. Just in that blog alone shows what kind of man Dustin was. Dustin was willing to lay down his life and put his life on the line every day for us. The guys in the gun truck, we don't get to do anything until we get hit. He was the one that tried to prevent that. Now for Captain James Gerbitz. As a soldier, you can only get to know your officers so well. Soldiers aren't really allowed to mingle with the officers on a personal basis. But when you're in that gun truck, you learn a lot about somebody. The best part about Captain Gerbitz was the fact that he would always stick up for his men, whether it meant that he had to go up against some high-ranking people in the command line. I've watched him do this several times on missions that he didn't believe that we needed to be out on the road. He was always well-liked, and anyone could easily get along with him. Honestly, if I had to go out the gate, he was the one that I would trust to lead us. It seems funny to talk about him today in such a nice light, because when he was in school, I also found another thing about him that I did not know, and I would have made fun of him for. He was kind of a bruiser when he was playing football. He was a big bully. He would hit people hard, but he was such a nice, kind man. I don't know how you get those two things in one man, but he sure did. We lost both of these men on 4th of November in 2005 with an IED strike. Almost to the day, 2 years later, we lost another great friend of mine, Sergeant Mason Lee Lewis. Anyone who had met this man would have nothing bad to say about him. He was a master at anything he could do or get his hands on. He loved his motorcycles. He loved having cookouts. This brother of mine was very special to me. I would go on missions and come back, and there he would be with a smile. He would take a second out of his day just to make me happy. To this day, he's described with 2 words, strength and honor. These 2 words are worn by me every day. I have a bracelet that I have not taken off in 4 years. He is such a brother to me that I put a tattoo on my arm to remember him. My son is named after him, and he will always be in my heart. I apologize. So during this day, I would like to thank these men and remember all the things I am able to do because they laid their lives down for our freedom, along with all of your brothers and sisters that have done the same. I will never be as grateful as I can be today because of what they have done for us. To end my time up here, I would like to thank the past, present, and future veterans for fighting for our freedom and making it possible to stand here today and talk with you. Without them, we'd be nowhere. Thank you very much.
next couple of speakers represent some organizations here in the community near and dear to the American Legion. First, I have Pat Stetzel, the unit president of the Jesuit Center of American Legion Oxford.